What if the word magic, a word whispered across ancient temples, carved into forgotten stones and breathed through countless generations, was never meant to describe tricks or illusions, but a truth so intimate that it has followed you in every breath you've ever taken? Imagine for a moment that every strange sensation you felt, every inexplicable intuition, every moment when reality seemed to rearrange itself around your emotions, was not an accident, but the echo of a power you've always carried. This is where our journey begins, not in fantasy, but in remembrance. Many of us grew up with images of witches casting spells, sorcerers wielding glowing symbols, or mystics traveling between dimensions. Hollywood paints magic as spectacle, as something outside of us, as something that belongs to an exclusive few. But beneath layers of myth and misunderstanding lies a different truth, one far more unsettling and far more liberating. The real question isn't, does magic exist? The real question is, are you ready to accept that you have been practicing it unconsciously your entire life? To approach magic, we must peel away centuries of exaggerations and return to what mystics have always known. Magic is not fire shooting from palms or impossible feats defying the laws of physics. Magic is the art of knowing yourself so deeply that reality begins to respond. It is the subtle recognition that every thought you cultivate, every emotion you feed, and every belief you carry ripples outward into the field of creation. And although this truth may sound poetic, its effects are undeniably practical. Think back to the last time you walked into a room and felt a heaviness without knowing why, or when someone's presence instantly comforted or disturbed you. Consider how a single song can unearth forgotten memories, or how a simple scent can transport you years into the past. These experiences reveal a world woven not from solid material alone, but from vibrations, layers of energy interacting endlessly, silently, profoundly. Magic begins the moment you understand that the universe is not built from objects but frequencies. Every person, every thought, every event is a vibration, and these vibrations are continuously reshaping the invisible architecture of your life. Our senses translate these frequencies into colors, sounds, textures, into the world we call real. But behind this tapestry lies the inner world, your emotions, your patterns, your shadows, your light. Together, the inner and outer realms create the reality you move through. Magic, at its purest core, is the bridge between these two worlds. It is not the manipulation of matter, but the transformation of the self. Change yourself, and the world changes in response. Resist yourself, and life mirrors back the resistance. Everything that happens outside you echoes something occurring within you. Everything within you seeks expression through your outer life. This interplay, this constant dance, is the playground of the magician. A true practitioner does not chase power or attempt to control the universe. Instead, they seek harmony, clarity, and alignment. They understand that to influence reality responsibly, they must first awaken to the architecture of their own consciousness. From the beginning of humanity, what we call magic has always been a system of refinement, a path of maturing perception, expanding awareness, and dissolving the illusions that blind us to our true nature. Ancient practitioners knew that reality responds not to desire alone, but to the frequency behind the desire. They understood that the world is shaped by patterns of mind and emotion, by states of consciousness vibrating at different speeds. This brings us to the heart of alchemy, a practice often reduced to cliches about transmuting metals into gold or seeking immortality. But the true alchemists were never obsessed with external treasures. They were explorers of the inner world. The lead they sought to purify was not metal, but the dense, heavy aspects of the human psyche. The gold they sought was the awakening of spirit, the recognition of the divine spark within. Alchemy teaches that each human being is composed of three interacting forces: body, mind, and spirit. None of these aspects is superior to the others. Each serves a crucial role in the alchemical journey. The body is the vessel, the cauldron where experience is distilled. The mind is the laboratory where transformation is initiated. The spirit is the eternal essence guiding the entire process. To the alchemist, the body is not a prison but a sacred instrument. It holds memory, trauma, intuition, and potential. It gives form to the formless. By honoring its rhythms, refining its habits, and treating it as a living sanctuary, the practitioner lays the foundation for deeper work. The mind, however, is where most of the transmutation unfolds. It houses our fears, our illusions, our attachments, our internal lead. Negative patterns are raw material waiting to be refined through awareness, discipline, and introspection. Meditation, contemplation, and emotional mastery act as the fire that heats the crucible. Through these practices, thoughts become clearer, perceptions purify, and consciousness rises into subtler realms. Spirit, the final aspect, is not changed by the process because it is already perfect. Spirit is the golden core. The alchemist's goal is not to transform it but to uncover it, to peel away the mental and emotional debris that obscures its radiance. When body and mind finally harmonize, spirit shines through effortlessly, illuminating the path ahead. And so begins the great alchemical journey, a journey through stages symbolized by colors, elements, and metaphors. It is a cycle of breaking down and rebuilding, descending and ascending, dying and being reborn. It is the process through which the magician learns not only to shape reality, but to shape themselves into someone capable of wielding such a responsibility with integrity. In the earliest stage of alchemical transformation, the seeker enters the realm of nigredo, the blackening. This is the descent into shadow, the confrontation with everything within us that we would rather avoid. It is the moment when illusions crack, when false identities fall apart, when the ego begins to dissolve under the weight of its own limitations. Though this stage is uncomfortable, even frightening, it is indispensable. For without breaking down the old structure, no new foundation can be built. Nigredo is the soul's nightfall, the sacred darkness from which the dawn will eventually rise. As the practitioner moves through this darkness, a subtle light begins to emerge. This is albedo, the whitening. It is the purification of the spirit, the cleansing of the mind, the gentle rediscovery of clarity. In albedo, the seeker begins to perceive truths that were once veiled. Emotional turbulence calms. The inner waters grow still. The individual begins to detach from the noise of the world and hears, perhaps for the first time, the quiet voice of their own essence. It is not enlightenment yet, but the promise of it. A soft glow appearing on the horizon after a long night. Then comes citrinitas, the yellowing, the illumination of the soul. Here the seeker begins to integrate the lessons earned in darkness and purification. Knowledge becomes wisdom, insight becomes embodiment. The alchemist starts to see the correspondence between inner states and outer events with unshakable clarity. They realize they are not merely reacting to life, they are co-creating it. This stage brings a deeper sense of responsibility, as the practitioner finally understands the magnitude of their thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Every vibration they emit shapes something in the field around them. Finally, the journey culminates in rubedo, the reddening, the union of body, mind, and spirit. It is the moment when the internal alchemy becomes external mastery. Here, the lead of consciousness is transmuted into gold. The seeker becomes whole, aligned, awake. Rubedo is not an end, but a beginning. A rebirth into a new level of existence where the magician steps fully into their power, not as a conqueror of the world, but as a steward of harmony. To walk the path of magic is to understand that every experience, every joy, every wound, every challenge is an opportunity for alchemical refinement. We practice alchemy whenever we transform anger into compassion, when we turn confusion into curiosity, when we transmute despair into resilience. Even the smallest act of self-awareness initiates a shift in vibration, and when enough shifts accumulate, our entire reality begins to reorganize around our new state of being. This is why the ancient adepts taught that the mind is the true philosopher's stone. Our thoughts are the ingredients, our attention is the fire, our emotions are the reactions that refine the mixture. Through conscious practice, the mind becomes a laboratory where miracles unfold, not supernatural miracles, but the profoundly natural miracle of awakening to our creative power. Many great alchemists and magicians throughout history embodied this truth. One such figure was Paracelsus, the enigmatic physician mystic of the Renaissance. More than a healer, he was a visionary who saw the universe as a vast pharmacy shaped by divine intelligence. Paracelsus believed that illness was not merely physical, but emerged from imbalances between body, mind, and spirit. To him, healing required not only herbs or remedies, but the restoration of harmony within the entire human being. He was also the first to articulate the doctrine of signatures, the idea that plants reveal their healing purpose through their shape, color, or behavior. His motto, "He who knows nothing of himself knows nothing of the universe," summarizes the very essence of magic. The outer world can only be understood through the inner one. Another towering figure in the mystical landscape was Cornelius Agrippa, the brilliant Renaissance magician whose works have shaped Western esotericism for centuries. His occult philosophy explores the intricate relationship between the celestial and the earthly, the spiritual and the material. Agrippa viewed the universe as a network of correspondences, a grand mirror in which every physical object reflects a deeper spiritual truth. To him, magic was the sacred science of perceiving those correspondences and aligning oneself with them. In his eyes, the magician was not a manipulator of forces, but a mediator between worlds. And then there was John Dee, the royal astrologer and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. Dee was a man who walked fearlessly between logic and mysticism, mathematics and angelic communication. Fascinated by the hidden architecture of the cosmos, he sought to converse with celestial beings through a complex system later known as Enochian magic. His work was not an attempt to dominate divine forces, but to understand them, to access knowledge that might elevate humanity as a whole. Yet his brilliance was met with suspicion, and Dee's life became a testament to the duality faced by every seeker. Recognition on one hand, persecution on the other. Centuries later, Helena Blavatsky emerged as a bridge between Eastern and Western wisdom. Through the secret doctrine and Isis unveiled, she introduced the West to ancient esoteric traditions that had long been guarded in the temples of the East. She taught that beneath every religion lies the same primordial truth, a truth carried by mystics, yogis, shamans, and magicians across millennia. For Blavatsky, humanity's spiritual evolution depended on piercing through the layers of illusion to rediscover the unity of all existence. Her life's work echoed the message that magic is not fantasy but a forgotten science of consciousness. Éliphas Lévi, the father of modern ceremonial magic, reshaped the mystical landscape with his symbolic interpretations of the tarot and the Kabbalah. He saw magic as a sacred union of opposites, a reconciliation of light and shadow, masculine and feminine, heaven and earth. Through Lévi, the image of the magician transformed from a secretive ritualist into a spiritual philosopher. His introduction of the iconic figure of Baphomet, misunderstood by many, symbolized the integration of dualities necessary to awaken true power. Each of these figures carried a piece of the same eternal message. Magic is not about escaping reality, but about engaging with it more deeply, seeing the invisible patterns behind events, recognizing the energetic currents that shape our experiences, and stepping into conscious co-creation with the universe. When we look across the vast timeline of human history, from ancient temples to Renaissance laboratories, from mystical orders to modern seekers, we discover a truth that has echoed unchanged through ages. Magic is the art of transformation. It is the sacred bridge connecting what is visible with what is unseen, what is physical with what is vibrational, what is mortal with what is eternal. Yet this transformation is not dramatic or theatrical. It often arrives quietly, like a shift in perception, a sudden moment of clarity, an unexpected release of something we have held for far too long. To understand magic is to recognize that the fabric of our reality is woven not from objects but from patterns. Patterns of thought, emotion, intention, and awareness. The world is not a static stage on which we simply play our roles. It is a responsive field, a mirror, a living intelligence that reflects our inner states with astonishing precision. Every moment of your life is shaped by the dialogue between your inner world and the vast energetic landscape around you. And once you truly grasp this, you begin to see that every choice, every reaction, every breath is a thread in the tapestry of your destiny. This understanding transforms the way we approach suffering and challenges. Instead of seeing them as enemies, we begin to see them as catalysts, opportunities to refine our vibration, to expand our consciousness, to transmute the dense into the luminous. In the language of the alchemist, the hardships of life are simply raw material, the lead that longs to become gold. When we resist our pain, it hardens. When we meet it with presence, curiosity, and courage, it dissolves into wisdom. This is why magic is inseparable from self-knowledge. Without knowing who we are, our fears, our wounds, our patterns, our essence, we cannot navigate the subtle architecture of reality. The more deeply we understand ourselves, the more gracefully we can influence the world around us. The less we react from unconscious habits, the more we respond from clarity and intention. In this sense, the magician is not someone who controls reality, but someone who cooperates with it. Someone who understands that the universe responds most powerfully to those who are aligned with themselves. When the practitioner begins to awaken to this truth, even everyday moments become enchanted. The simple act of breathing becomes a ritual of presence. A fleeting emotion becomes a spell asking to be understood. A quiet intuition becomes a whisper from the deepest layers of the self. Suddenly, life is no longer a sequence of random events. It is a dialogue, a lesson, a symphony of symbols guiding us back to our essence. Magic also reveals that we are never isolated beings. Just as your thoughts affect your inner world, they ripple outward into the collective field of consciousness. Your joy lifts others. Your fear contracts others. Your healing creates space for others to heal. Every transformation within you reshapes the subtle web of human experience. And so the magician walks with awareness, not with arrogance, but with reverence for the interconnectedness of all things. This path, however, is not without its dualities. As one awakens, they begin to perceive both light and shadow with greater intensity. They realize that power can elevate or corrupt, depending on the purity of intention behind it. Throughout history, many who walked the path of magic faced a crossroads, to create through harmony or to distort through fear. This is why integrity, compassion, and clarity are not optional. They are the foundation of authentic spiritual mastery. Ultimately, magic is not a talent granted to a chosen few. It is a birthright, a natural function of human consciousness. Every person you meet is a magician at some stage of evolution, some unaware of their power, others afraid of it, others beginning to explore it with curiosity, and a few working to refine it with devotion. What distinguishes a true magician is not the ability to influence external events, but the willingness to transform themselves again and again, like a serpent shedding its skin or a phoenix rising from its ashes. To bring magic into daily life, you need not perform rituals or memorize complex systems, though those tools can be powerful if used with intention. The real practice begins in micro moments, when you pause before reacting and choose awareness over impulse, when you observe a fear instead of becoming it, when you honor your emotions without letting them define you, when you speak words that elevate rather than diminish, when you align your actions with your truth, even when it is difficult. Each of these acts is a spell, one that slowly reshapes your energetic field, your relationships, your opportunities, your fate. In time, you begin to see that nothing in your life is random. Everything is a reflection of the vibration you embody. As you learn to master this inner alchemy, your consciousness rises to a state in which you perceive the subtle law of cause and effect with crystalline clarity. You begin to understand the mechanics by which emotion influences matter, thought influences opportunity, and tension influences outcome. You become not a passive traveler, but a conscious navigator of your path, an architect of meaning, a sculptor of destiny. And in this awakening, the veil between the mundane and the mystical grows thin. You begin to sense the presence of a greater intelligence orchestrating the rhythms of existence. You feel the quiet pulse of life moving through you. You discover that every gust of intuition, every synchronicity, every moment of déjà vu is an invitation to step deeper into your power. This is the essence of magic. The realization that the universe is not a machine but a living conversation, and you are one of its voices. As we reach the end of this exploration, remember that magic is not an escape from life. It is a profound engagement with it. It is the willingness to look within, to embrace both shadow and light, to refine your consciousness until your very presence becomes transformative. Magic is the alchemy of the spirit, the art of transmuting fear into strength, confusion into wisdom, desire into manifestation. Life is not something happening to you. Life is something happening through you. And as you continue to walk this path, whether as a seeker, a mystic, or simply someone curious about the hidden dimensions of existence, know this: you are already weaving your reality with every intention you hold, every emotion you cultivate, every truth you dare to embody. You are and have always been a magician.